And I guess I'm uploading live on YouTube right now, but I really don't know. So I'm going to check again because doing this whole thing live and it not actually. Oh, shit, it is working. I think it is. Anyway, what's up? Clint Cronin Show. And I'm on Reddit right now. Sometimes I like to go on here and just read a little bit and see what everybody's up to. In this case today, I figured I'd actually go here and comment or answer on one of these questions that someone's put in. In this regard, I can actually, in this particular thread, or subreddit topic, I'm not really sure what the nomenclature is here, but in this particular topic or post, I feel like I can contribute a little bit. So this one says, heavyweight rant, you're so strong. My being strong, it's a rant, so I'm going to try to abridge this a bit or summarize, but my being strong is the reason I easily outgripped you and put you on your ass with a perfectly timed foot sweep past your guard like it wasn't even there. It didn't give you a centimeter of space and side control with focus and deliberate pressure. It took the mount back with a setup I've practiced 1,000 times and submitted you with a basic jiu-jitsu technique I've been working on for years while you were messing around with whatever was the last flavor of the month bullshit. It's not because my understanding of the fundamentals is better than yours that I've been training 6 days a week for the best part of a decade, that I've put my training before career, family, relationships, and on occasion whether or not I eat that day. It's just because I'm big/strong. Rant. Heavyweight rant bros know that feel. Alright, so check it out. I'm 220 and about 6'2", and I'm a black belt, and I pride myself on being pretty technical and flexible and all that stuff. I can do the lotus, the whole yoga thing, inverted stretch, I can get my knees to the floor, all that deal. And as a larger guy, I've actually been kind of like a big guy sympathizer in terms of, or apologist, I should say, as like a heavyweight or super heavyweight apologist, in that I would hear this sort of thing. I'd hear how big or strong or whatever, and I'd feel this way, but I'd almost feel like in order to get recognition or in order to get respect for what I'm doing, because no matter, I would feel what this guy's feeling in this post right here, in order for me to actually get any sort of respect for what I was doing, I would have to do it sort of from guard, from my back, and I would have to work my way up in like the most technical way possible. And even when I did that, even when I did some kind of very intricate sweep from some sort of exotic open guard or whatever, I would get to top position, pass, I'd submit, and I would hear something like, man, you're so strong. And I'd have the same feelings, and basically in the back of my head, like, you don't even know where you went wrong. You don't even know where I began to capitalize or how long I've been sort of taking you down this path or telling this story. Basically, with jiu-jitsu, right? You tell a story, you sort of try to project moves out based on the reactions that other moves get, and we all have our games that we like to play and all that stuff. We have a system we want to work, right? I mean, eventually that's where you're going to go, right? Your jiu-jitsu starts by you learn how to speak and hopefully breathe, and you learn words, and then you learn sentences and paragraphs, and pretty soon you're telling a story and you're sort of working your own sort of system, and the cause and effect of each move and sort of where everything's going to go, right? So in my mind, when this would happen, it would just sort of be the most like deflating feeling in the world. I felt like I was actually being promoted more slowly for a long time, that because of my size or because I was a bigger guy or because I was stronger. I did powerlifting. I've been lifting weights forever. I think I have I know I have a 500-pound deadlift now. I reached 500 as of a couple months ago. I lift, right? I'm not like a skinny dude in any sense of the word. But anyway, where I'm going with this is basically in the post. First of all, strength, speed, flexibility, agility, athleticism, your breakdance, whatever. These are all attributes, right? The core of it is the technique, the jiu-jitsu itself. And it's hard to hear, just keep going, don't worry about what other people say or think or whatever like that. But because in this rant, this guy realizes he's ranting just to rant, and then he's just saying stuff, right? He's just pissed for a minute, wants to take a breath, wants to say it out loud, wants to go back to training. If you're training a decade or something, I get it. Sometimes just want to blow off some steam and just say stuff. It's all good. But at the root of it, these are all attributes, and you really just need to focus on the technique and do what you're doing here, and don't really worry about it, because what happens is we often measure things with pride, right? We'll self-reflect. If somebody accomplishes something, we often look inward and say, could I have done that myself? Could I do that, right? And then a lot of times people doubt themselves. So if they look at your success, they look at how you do, they want an excuse on why you were able to do it, but they weren't, right? We're very sensitive, especially guys that get into jiu-jitsu that were told they were strong or fast or big, you know, whatever. And then reality kicks in and they realize, oh crap, I'm not shit, because I'm being faced with these, you know, techniques and these chokes and all this stuff from smaller people, and all of a sudden you realize, like, oh, we're in an even playing field down here. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that you're big, it's an attribute. You're strong, it's an attribute. You're flexible, it's an attribute. You're fast, it's an attribute. Don't ignore them. If you're naturally really big and strong, don't not smash people because you're big. That's stupid. In the real world, in a fight and competition, you're going to use that strength. You're not going to rely solely on it, but it's there, and it should be sort of worked into things, as opposed to being like something you base your entire game on. So don't worry about it. Some people don't know what they don't know, and don't waste your time trying to fix the world. Just worry about your own shit. That's sort of the best advice I can give you. I've been sort of a big guy apologist for a long time, and now I really don't care. I try to share, you know, what techniques I do have. I try to make sure, like, if I learn something cool or something works really well for me, I teach it to my students. So I teach classes over at AK Sunnyvale. So early in the morning, I'm up there. So if something works really well for me, I show it. And if I catch somebody with something and they say, you're so strong, I'll be like, hey, check this out though. Here's what you want. So after the roll's over, after training's over, not during training, it's the most annoying thing in the world, but you know, afterwards be like, hey, this is actually the move. It's really not a strength thing. Just talk through it, be an adult, it's all good. It sounds like you're pretty level-headed, just sort of blowing off some steam on Reddit, which is, it's all good. Everybody, you know, wants to, you know, just say stuff sometimes. All good. But the end, you sort of, you said something that resonated also really well with me, so it's not because my understanding of fundamentals, blah, 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 blah. It's that I've been training 6 days a week for the best part of a decade, that I put my training before my career, family relationships, and on occasion whether or not I eat that day just because I'm big. Okay, so this thing, stop that. Don't. Honestly, family, career, relationships, I get it. You love jiu-jitsu. I'm straight up addicted to jiu-jitsu. It's awesome. It's the best thing in the world. Behind family and behind relationships and your career and eating and stuff like that, like, you gotta do that stuff. If jiu-jitsu is your career, it's your passion, it's your love, it's great. Your family is more important than that. Just trust me on this. I was training like 10 times a week. Completely used it as like an avoidance thing for like personal issues, personal like relationships, a marriage, right? So in a nutshell, I can tell you exactly what not to do in order to make a marriage work long term. And dude, you know what? If you're in a relationship with somebody that's hardcore into jiu-jitsu, or you are, you gotta make time for them the way you make time for training. If you want that relationship to work long term, because sooner or later, if you don't, they'll resent it. It becomes like this way of sort of avoiding things. I use jiu-jitsu as like avoidance for any sort of at-home stuff. Like if me and my ex-wife weren't getting along, I'd just go train more. It'd be like my avoidance thing. So don't use jiu-jitsu as a crutch. Don't do it. Seriously, family comes before jiu-jitsu. That's the biggest sort of takeaway from this particular thread, right? So anyway, like, yeah, people aren't gonna know what they don't know. If you caught somebody because you know, you've got great jiu-jitsu, you've got great technique, awesome. If they think it's one thing or another, teach them. If they're just way too proud or douchey, they're way too proud or douchey, and there is no amount you're not going to convince people otherwise. It's how arguments work, right? Some people are just never going to yield. Maybe they will later, but pride's a son of a bitch, right? And just sort of look inward and see what you can't do in terms of processing this information a little bit, like being just worrying about it. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. You're out there, you love jiu-jitsu, you're kicking ass, keep going, and being big's fucking awesome. So just be big and enjoy it. Let's see, any Bay Area gyms hosting open mat. Yes, One World Jiu-Jitsu, Newark, California, and I think Jits Club also, which is it's Pirate. Is a Czech mat guy. He's like 6 foot a million. He's a fucking really tall guy. That's over in Pleasanton or Livermore. So Jits Club, I think, also has a holiday open mat. That's I think noon or 12:30 on Sundays. And One World is Sunday, 6 p.m. open mat, and 7 a.m. is just training. And then AKA Sunnyvale, I think, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Might be closed though, but give them a call. How do head instructors get better at BJJ? Okay, check this out. This is a really good question. How do head instructors get better at BJJ? So I teach my classes. I train with my other black belts at the gym, but in terms of like my 6:30 a.m. program and like the classes that I'm in, it's sort of me with my peer group to sort of work stuff out. But also I visit other gyms. I visit open mats. Some other black belts in the area that we started off at lower belts. We get together and sort of do stuff on the weekends. I try to train with the best people I can. So make friends. It's good to be able to, maybe just mix it up. I know lots of black belts from different gyms. We just get together, and I travel a lot. So I go to Jean-Jacques in LA and train when I can. So basically, the answer to this is find people better. There's always gonna be somebody better. Like, I'm a black belt, but there's way better black belts, and there's way better black belts than me that'll say that about black belts above them, right? So it's no matter how much you've trained, there's always somebody better. Just like in life, there's always somebody bigger, stronger, and faster. GSP, Anderson Silva, BJ Penn, everybody looked at them like, man, these are the guys. But then there's the John Joneses, and it's everything evolves, right? Everything changes. So just like with jiu-jitsu, there's always somebody better. And in the Bay Area in California, there's always a million awesome jiu-jitsu guys to sort of work with and train with, and if not, travel. I head down to LA, Brazil. There's tons of places to go train. There's tons of really great people, and there's tons of competitors at like all belt levels, all shapes and sizes in this area. Open mats again, seminars. Let's see. Another 500 people have got their blue belts. Got my baby. So this is, hey, congratulations. I think his name right here is, what's his name? This is Zachary Phillips. He's got a huge smile on his face. Let's check this out. So Zachary Phillips just he got his blue belt, and he had a kid. Dude, that's awesome. That's, I don't have kids, but a friend do, and seeing how they light up and seeing how stoked they are after they have their first kid, any of their kids, it's amazing. So congratulations, and getting your blue belt's freaking rad. So didn't see how long you've been training, but guessing it's a while, right? 'Cause that can be a long thing. I think I was a white belt almost 3 years or something ridiculous like that. So congratulations. Another one right here, Riff and Dip. Promoted to blue belt last night. It's been 4 consistent years of training 3 to 5 times a week with over 100 or 1,100 mat hours. I'm currently the one and only blue belt serving my gym, and I cannot look any more forward to the new blue target on my back. Time to train. Let's check him out. He's got this cool, he's got the circle thing. I had the spiral of belts, white and then blue, and they even have the stripes on the white belt there. So I've got that on my coffee table in my living room. I started with my white belt, and then I sort of worked my way out. Now it's this big, cool spiral rope looking thing of all my jiu-jitsu belts, and I've had like 1 or 2 at each level, so it's kind of big. Anyway, let's see. Congratulations. This is Riff and Dip. It's 4 years since old. Yeah, it is a long time. I was 3 years, but it's yeah. I started at one gym, and then after the first year, it's injury, whatever, I went to a different gym, so I wound up at AK Sunnyvale. So I started at Health Gracie Mountain View, trained for a little bit under a year, then I moved over to AK Sunnyvale. I was there like 2 years, and then got my blue belt from Bobby Southworth, and then Mike Prudencio showed up, then purple, brown, black under him. So that was like almost 12 years total training. But let's see, one of my proudest moments. What do we got here? Another one. Is this another blue belt or is this purple? I can't see. I'm fucking colorblind. This is Austin 624 from North North Point Alliance. And congrats on the blue. God, 14 hours ago, 11 years, 8 months from inside BJJ. Awesome. Crazy. Congrats on the black belt. So we're in the club together here. 2016 black belts, and the same amount of time basically too. That's awesome. Congratulations on the belt. It's pretty rad. Let's see. I think how long did I won? Messing around right now. 15 minutes. All right, cool. So I've got actually a pretty cool podcast coming up on Wednesday. We're gonna do over Skype. We haven't really done that before, which is pretty cool. Pretty stoked about it. I do have something. I was over at Kyotera Academy on Sunday. We had the Fight to Win Pro. If you guys haven't seen, I think it's on Flow Grappling. So Fight to Win is a jiu-jitsu promotion, the production quality kind of like EBI or Metamorph or something like that. It's really awesome. The one I went to in San Francisco was basically sold out. I think it was sold out. Totally packed. It was awesome. The main event was Dean Lister and Yuri Samois, the current New Gi world champion at Absolute and Ultra Heavyweight this year. Anyway, so that was the main event there. I think Kurt Ossiander and a bunch of other guys. My friend Chris Coldiron was on the card as well. Anyway, there was like video entrance package. They came down a ramp. There's music, cool ring announcer. It was a pretty cool feeling. It had that big fight feeling, the cool lighting, all that stuff. Really great production value. So I got an email to come out and participate or compete in the San Jose ones, which is pretty cool. They haven't done the matchmaking yet, or I haven't got mine yet, but I had to come in for the photo shoot on Sunday, which is pretty cool over at Kyotera's. They were doing the judo class on the side. Well, during the photo shoot, we had to, go from gi, take some pictures in a white gi, then strip down real quick to no gi. I rocked those, what do you call them? Those Valley Tudo shorts, the old school bad boy ones with one of my Clint Cronin Show t-shirts. It was like basically tight enough to be a rash guard, so I was wear this. So so I should be competing in that. I think I'm gonna do San Jose International Open also, which I'm pretty stoked about. I was gonna do the Nevada, the BJJ Tour tournament in Las Vegas also, but I don't know that I can do all of those. And I was planning to be in LA for Bellator, the Tito Ortiz Chalsana one, to sort of do a little bit of podcast work there. So it's going to be a busy ass January. Anyway, I'm watching myself on the video thing. There's a delay, so it's kind of weird. Where are we at here? Is this thing live? No, it's public. This thing should be public. Boom. I wonder if it's public now. It should be. There we are, 17 minutes, 18 minutes, something like that. Yeah, so anyway, on Wednesday, we've got one of Henzo's black belts from New York. He's going to dial in. We're going to do a little kind of Skype thing. I want to try to get it on here. I don't know how well that's going to work, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. If it doesn't, we'll just do it as audio. So if I can't have this thing behind me, then I don't really want to do it with video. It's kind of the thing I want to keep kind of rock with for a little while. First BJJ session, cool. Got this person, self.bjj, or no, I'm sorry. It's CRVZ Cruise, CRVZ on Reddit. So it's just took part in my first BJJ session. Really enjoyed it. Been doing martial arts for a long time, training Kyokushin karate and getting my second degree black belt. But I really like the transition from karate to BJJ, even though I got my ass kicked. Looking forward to going back in a year. Awesome. Welcome to Jiu-Jitsu. It's a totally different thing, except we get to wear similarly designed pajamas. You're probably going to pull on the Jiu-Jitsu ones a little bit more. I wouldn't wear the karate or the Kyokushin gi to, the Jiu-Jitsu club, because it's probably going to, tear and stuff. But, welcome. It's totally different stuff, but you probably don't have to bow as much, which might be nice. Let's see here. I'm out for 3 to 5 weeks with fractured rib cartilage. How do I make the most out of class when I go to watch? Man. Yeah, that sucks. Rib injuries suck. Yeah, I don't even know that being in class is a good thing. Because going back too soon, it's so easy to get re-injured. I'd look at really putting your energy into PT, physical therapy, whatever sort of recovery stuff the doctor's given you. I'd train that. I'd work that. I mean, you could go to class, but I mean, breathing hurts with rib injuries. It's like a back injury. You can't really do much. Listen to your doctor. Don't come back too fast, and don't get stuck on painkillers. Like, avoid the pills if they don't, if you don't need them, don't take them. Seriously. Let's sure. As a fresh white belt, what should I be doing? What should I be doing during open mat? After a few 3 or 4, so not many lessons, the coach has started to let me roll, but it just seems rather pointless when I don't quite have techniques to escape or being past many positions. Everyone goes easy on me during rolls, plus I'm small and new, but it's rather embarrassing when a purple belt lets you into side control, knowing that at any point you could. Yeah, just don't overthink it. Just try to do what you learn in class. Fuck the embarrassing part. Just go have fun. You're paying to be there. Don't worry about it. Just seriously go wrestle around. Try to pass their guard. Try to get on top. Try to mount, whatever. Don't overthink it. You're trying to defend yourself. When you're on the bottom, try to work the escapes you learn. I'm sure they're teaching UPA, just different hip escape stuff. Just try to work it. Try to work on your breathing and not holding your breath all the time. Try to work on moving yourself as opposed to, moving your opponent when they're on the top. Just, I can give you this one. When you're mounted, first thing you have to think about is just stop, breathe, assess the situation, figure out how bad is it and what can I do to just make it 1% better. It's probably got to do with your hips, work their knees out of your armpits, work your way back, then start working on bumping your hips, bring your heels up to your butt, sort of work the bridge in either direction, try to work the UPA, try to work your elbow escapes, try to work those mount escapes, try to work those side control escapes. If you don't know one, just ask. You're going to get tapped, you're supposed to get tapped. And try to use what you learn in class. Don't worry about the I don't know. You are learning stuff. Just every level of jiu-jitsu practitioner is valuable to the gym. You being brand new is actually valuable to the gym just as much as somebody that isn't, right? At every level, you need to work with people at all different levels, right? When you're brand new, you need to just work with everybody, right? But when you're a little bit more experienced, and this is going to sound shitty, but more experienced people, if they work with brand new people and newer people, they have the opportunity to, one, learn their techniques better, because you have to sort of, in order to teach something, you have to know it in so much detail, more so than just doing it, because in order to articulate something in a meaningful way, you have to know it very well. So come here real quick, let me just see something. Then they'll work through the move and be like, oh yeah, here's another detail I forgot. Because when you show the same stuff over and over with the same group of people, or you show the same system of techniques, you can forget details really easily, even as a more advanced jiu-jitsu person or instructor or whatever. So and then also from in terms of opening your game up, is for more advanced practitioners, having newer people to work with on top of teaching. They also get to experiment a little bit, because they'll get away with stuff they wouldn't normally get away with people that are better or around the same level roughly as they are. A good example is, for example, people are working on these different open guard sweeps where space is a bit more critical, where the management of space is like just a little mistake and you're gonna have your guard pass, something like that. So just things where you can loosen up a little bit, experiment, maybe try a new move you saw in a seminar. A lot of people are into the YouTube thing, which is fine, it's cool, whatever, however you choose to learn. But you can experiment a little bit more by working with people that are a little bit less experienced than you are. Is kind of where I'm going with that. Versus you're probably gonna snug it up when it's people that are as good or whatever around your same skill level, but or better, right? You're probably going to be just defending yourself if they're much better. But anyway, that's just maybe I'll just, if I see one more on here, do the Reddit, then let's respond. Any suggestion to organize notes? I always take notes after class, organize them by position. Want to know? Here you go. Evernote. I use Evernote for everything. You can add pictures, text, all kinds of stuff to it. This sort of per guard type, the first thing below, it's like we have per guard type, principles, attack, sweep, blah, blah, blah. That's all great. But something like Evernote, I have different notebooks for different things. I have a notebook for my podcast stuff, a notebook for my engineering stuff, a notebook for my jiu-jitsu techniques, for some. And then I can dictate stuff with some voice to speech, whatever, the speech to text or whatever with Siri. I put pictures in my notes, so I use Evernote. It's a great app. It's free. It works on phone, tablet, computer, web, whatever. So I recommend that just as a way to organize notes. People like pen and paper. That's all good. I like being able to hashtag my notes and just put categories on them, so I can have guard passes. Then I have all my guard passes in there. I thought there's like a BJJ technique notebook. I thought there was actually a thing on this. There was an app. Guy in LA I thought made this thing. BJJ Brain. So that's BJJ grappling, some software. It's not loading very fast, but I think there's an app called BJJ Brain. I might be wrong. If it's, there's a couple of things. How to take notes, game plan and strategy. Another's mind mapping, right? There's that mind map sort of methodology, or there's apps and stuff. It's basically like, you think of like a whiteboard. You'll have a little cloud drawing where you say a topic, and then you just sort of branch off of each one of those things. So you can mind map. You can use Evernote. You can use BJJ Brain if that still exists as an app in the App Store. Otherwise, go with the recommendations dude put in here. How did he get the top? Don't know. What does whatever. I'm actually tired. Fuck it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is just a quick test. Probably resolution isn't that great on this. I didn't really mess with the focus on the camera, but I just wanted to see what a solo thing would be. I want to do more of this Reddit stuff. This is just off the cuff tonight, so I'm probably gonna organize them a little bit better and just pick a couple of questions I like. So if you have anything specific you would like to see answered, or any guests or anything like that, any suggestions, keep it cool, guys. Keep it playful. So that's a jiu-jitsu thing. It's not plagiarism. I just borrowed it, right? Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Check me out at Clint Cronin on Instagram. If you're into this stuff, you want to show a little bit of support or love, just share it with your friends, like it, comment, subscribe. Clint Cronin Show on iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. At Clint Cronin. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Peace. I can't end a thing with, it's weird. Anyway.